Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and what we have with us today is the Sachin Saga VR headset with the controller. Now the game is actually a free game on the Google Play Store. It's a Google Cardboard enabled game, but what you are paying for is essentially a Google Cardboard enabled headset and a controller. So kicking things off with the build, actually let's start with the build of the headset itself. Now what we really like is the fact that there's sufficient amount of padding out here for your face, and the gap between you and the lenses out here is wide enough that someone like me who wears glasses can also wear this comfortably. And there is almost no light bleed. I mean, that is something that is really, really good when it comes to the ergonomics. The straps are also adjustable and they go all around your head, so that gives you a secure fit. Now, the face of the device, of course, has Sachin plastered all over it for obvious reasons, and aesthetically that may or may not appeal to you, but it is easy to download the game by simply scanning the QR code on the side. Now, the housing of the phone, which is in front, can house from about a 4.7 inch to about a 6.5 inch display, which should cover the gamut of almost all the smartphones available in the market. And you have a nice little wheel out here which essentially shifts the gap between the two lenses. And what this does is essentially, if your phone has a slightly bigger display or a slightly smaller display, you can adjust the field of view so it gives you a more comfortable experience. So overall, the build of the headset is actually really nice, especially considering it's going to run Google Cardboard enabled apps. The controller, on the other hand, is a slightly different story. Now you have this essentially looks a bit like the Nintendo Joy-Con from the Nintendo Switch. You have one analog stick out here, you have one trigger and 6 face buttons. Now all the face buttons aren't utilized. Essentially what you need to do is flick the analog stick in the direction you want to hit the ball and simply tap on the trigger when you are ready. Now the trigger is the first thing that actually broke when we got this controller within 20 minutes of playing, and that is also because it has the concave shape where you want to pull it like a trigger, but it actually doesn't get pulled like a trigger. It gets tapped like a button. Think of it as having the shape of the triggers of a console controller, but the feedback of the shoulder buttons are not the triggers. Anyways, you can actually use the B button on the face of the controls to mimic the same controls as the trigger, so you don't need to worry about if one of the buttons breaks, what do you do? Next, pairing it is really, really simple. It's like pairing a Bluetooth device. And once you get your phone into the headset and start playing the game, it actually is a lot of fun. So let's talk about the game a little bit. You have a lot of options to choose from, and before you wear the headset with the phone and try to look around and navigate this like a motion controller, I'd like to tell you that you actually need to look at a particular point and then press the button. So this isn't actually a motion enabled remote, just remember that. Also, the game itself, the graphical fidelity may not be the best that we've seen, and that is actually okay considering the number of devices this is expected to run on. I mean, you can't run this app on just a select few devices. You can run it on many smartphones available out there. You have two views to choose from. One is an over the shoulder, where you have, let's say, the wicket keeper's perspective over the shoulder of the batsman, and you flick the analog stick to hit the ball in the direction that you want and also to run. But what is actually adding to the immersion in a game like this is the first person view, where you are actually in the helmet. So if you've played a first person shooter game, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you are there in the helmet. You see each stroke happen as it does, and even when you run, you can actually turn your head and look in the direction you hit the ball, just to get that more immersive experience that it's all actually happening to you. Now, in terms of gameplay, you do have the easy, normal, hard modes. You have between 2, 5 and 10 overs to choose from, no more than 10. And you also have the ability to play a match in the day and the night. You cannot bowl, this is only batting. And you can also play multiplayer if a friend of yours has this headset as well. Unfortunately, we just have one headset, so we couldn't test the multiplayer capabilities. But it would be fun to play with a friend if the two of you have it. So overall, we'd like to say that the headset is quite well built. The controller, though flimsy, gets the job done, and the game is actually a first of an experience for us, where we are in the helmet of the batsman of a cricket player, and that is definitely a unique experience if nothing else. If you want to spend $2,000 on this, which is essentially the headset and the controller, well, you do have the opportunity to delve into the world of budget VR with a Google Cardboard enabled headset. But if you want an absolutely in-depth experience of virtual reality, you will have to up your budget a lot more, and including a console or a PC depending on where you want it. So for the budget guy who essentially wants to play a game and have a little bit of fun, you could definitely check this out. Well, you can tell us what you thought of this video in the comment section below, and for more videos like this one, you can subscribe to our channel. We will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.
For the latest technology updates, subscribe to Digit.in and don't forget to hit the bell icon.